Hello everyone, welcome aboard. So again we have brought to you the new session of Daily Current Affairs Capsule, and this session has been brought to you by Himalaya IAS classes. If you want to join IAS 2021 batch or KAS examination batch in English or Kannada medium, you can visit us at www.himalayaiasclasses.com, or you can reach out to us on this given number. So before we start, the significance of the current affairs for civil services exams. In the prelim stage of the examination, you have straightforward questions, objectives coming from current affairs topic. In the mains, direct as well as indirectly questions are asked on the current affairs topic. You can use the information of current affairs in answering your question to get good marks. Essay, where you have to write multiple dimensions of the topic. It is very necessary for having opinions about almost everything which can come into the essay. And most of the interview questions are related to the contemporary issues. What we are going to cover in this session, or how you can use this session. So first thing, we'll tell you what articles to be read from the Hindu. We'll also tell you which part of the syllabus they belong to, both in the prelims as well as in the mains. Plus we will tell you the exam important facts from those articles. So first article of today talks about a statement of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi that age of expansionism is over. So expansionism means to expand your territory. Okay, so this statement has been issued in the given situation of India-China standoff at the line of actual control. Prelims part of the international relations, mains international relation is the part of general studies, paper 2. So not much, but the statements made by Prime Minister, it can be used in writing your answers or putting it or quoting him in your essays. So age of expansionism was over, and the countries across the world were now witnessing the era of development. Okay, so we should so there's no place for expansionism or this type of adventure of any country. It was indication to the China. Also, he has said that India's determination to protect its territory was as high as the Himalayas. Okay, so prelims you can't expect anything. It's just a statement made by Prime Minister, which you can use as per your need in the answer writing. Next important news today is about ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research. It has said that it is trying to launch the COVID vaccine by August 15th. Okay, so syllabus wise, vaccine part of the science, science is the part of general studies, paper 3. First and foremost, what is the name of the vaccine? Please do remember this name, Covaxin. This can be directly asked in the prelims. Who has developed it? Hyderabad based Bharat Biotech India Limited. Okay, and it has been used by the strain of SARS-CoV-2. So actually this is nothing but coronavirus strain or virus which is weakened. So we all know that vaccine works on the principle that okay, deactivated or weak virus is injected in your body, which is not enough to bring too much harm to your body. Then your body itself will produce a response. So next time when a healthy virus will attack your body, you already have your body has the immunity to fight with that virus. The same principle on that all the vaccines work. Okay, so please remember Covaxin Bharat Biotech Limited, and it has used the strain of weakened SARS coronavirus. Okay. Next article today talks about the rural job policies and their effect on the women, or what should we do for employment of the women in the rural areas. So prelims, it is part of the economy, and mains economy is the part of general studies, paper 3. So first and foremost article, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a huge impact on the women's work. See, any crisis, even the war situation, women are the one who will face more burden of anything because our society has made them vulnerable. Okay. So first thing, we don't know because lack of data. We don't have any solid database for the impact of the women's employment because of this pandemic. But rural women, what are the challenges basically they are facing? So that has been pointed out in that. So rural women face a crisis of regular employment. See, they have seasonal employment. They participate in a lot of work, paid work outside the outside their domestic work. Okay, they are not included in the employed segment. Okay, all of this is not even recorded. More educated women who have access to more education, they are not seeking work because the type of work they want, it is not available in their area, and the work which is available, they're not looking for that because of their level of education. Okay, then another feature of the women employment in the rural areas is gap between the male and female wages. So definitely the males, they are getting more, and again because of this discrimination what we have, females are getting less paid. So we all know that even DPSP says that there is an act, Minimum Wages Act, which prohibits the discrimination between male and female when it comes to the wages, but still, unfortunately, there is a gap between female and male wages, which is unfavorable to female. Impact of lockdown. So as of lockdown, see, a lot of work apart from the agricultural work, okay, like construction, brick kilns, informal sector, that has stopped. So again, it has taken a lot of livelihood of the women's job or their employment opportunities. So basically, this article says that we need to look for the new avenues. We need to look for more data collection for the women who should be employed or who should be provided with more employment opportunities. One suggestion this article makes, it's about the health sector, which has a lot of potential to provide women specific jobs, let it be in the nursing, the hospital sectors. So the basic idea here is to employ as much as possible to provide jobs to the women in the rural areas. Next article today talks about lessons from India, that we had faced a trial in the international court, and there we have got a verdict which is not in our favor. Prelims wise, part of international relation, mains it is part of general studies, paper 2. So long quest for justice for the two Kerala fishermen. If you remember, in the 2012, some Italian vessel came out and they thought that in Indian shores there were some pirates. So they opened fire, and unfortunately it ended into the death of two Indian fishermen. So first, India actually put these people behind the bars in India. Later, they were released, sent to Italy. Now, an international court was settling this dispute, and it has said that India do not have jurisdiction to try those Italian mariners in India. But yes, they violated the Indian's territorial waters, and the deceased person, they can claim the compensation. Okay, so that's a verdict in a nutshell. So what is the learning for India here is, see, so it says that Italian vessel has violated the right of freedom of navigation of Indian fishing vessels under UNCLOS, okay, United Nations Conventions of Open Seas, United Nations Conventions and Laws for Open Seas, actually, okay. So this merit for the compensation, but on India's front, it points a diplomatic failure. First thing, see, first Kerala wanted to have these people or this Italian fishermen under their jurisdiction. Then Supreme Court ruled that no, only center can do that. Then National Investigation Agency, which became the investigation agency of the case, they applied the Safety of Maritime Navigation and Fixed Platforms on Continental Shelf Act 2002, which has a provision for capital punishment as well. After that, it went into the International Tribunal. Even those Marines, they went outside the India, and ultimately it led to the verdict, which is not very favorable to India. Okay, so this is a nutshell summary of the lessons what we have got from there. Next article today talks about the police violence. So we all know that the Tamil Nadu incident, which has led to the custodial deaths of the two people. So let us see what is there for our points. So prelims wise, part of polity is part of general studies, paper 2. So here is some data which might be useful for you, not for prelims, for mains. I'll tell you when it is important for prelims. So in last 3 years, National Human Rights Commission, okay, India has received 5,300 or more than 5,000 complaints of custodial deaths. So that is something when you're writing about an answer, you can quote in your answers. Okay, that NHRC has received more than this much complaints of custodial deaths. This is as per NCRB, National Criminal Crime Records Bureau. Okay. Now another challenge is the legal process to investigate, prosecute, and fix accountability for custodial death is even more problematic. Okay. Then we still do not have a domestic law that enables torture prosecution by accounting for the particularities or peculiarities of the custodial torture. We do not have a domestic law in which you can hold the person accountable who is doing the torture and because of which something undesirable has happened. And this you have to remember for prelims as well. There is a United Nations Convention against torture. Okay, India signed it in 1997. There are 19 countries in the world which has not signed it, and India has not ratified it. Okay, so there are 19 other countries total who has not ratified it, including India. Okay, so UN Convention Against Torture. So we should sign that. We should have a law to fix accountability. Okay. then we can get rid of such instances. That's the whole summary of this article. Next article today talks about it is not the time to make profits. The statement has been released by National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, which comes under the Ministry of Health. Syllabus wise, part of the prelims, part of the science, and science is a part of General Studies paper 3. Okay, so Union Health Ministry says that it has identified a list of critical medical equipment. So we all know that during this COVID treatment, not just the drugs, but a lot of medical equipment, maybe oxygen cylinder, ventilators, these things are needed. Okay, and it has asked National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. See, this is the regulatory authority under the Union Health Ministry, which fix the prices of the essential thing. So what it has done, it has taken the medical devices which are essential for COVID treatment. It has fixed a price for it. Okay, and more than that price cannot be charged by the private sellers for that. Okay, so please remember NPPA and even the medical devices, they can come under the definition of drugs, so that their price can be controlled and nobody can misuse this crisis time for making benefits. Next article today talks about India and China. So with economic measures, India seeks to turn tables on China. So basically it tells us what are the measures taken by India and what can happen ultimately if China tries the same. So syllabus wise, part of the international relation, mains, it is part of General Studies paper 2. So we already know that we have banned almost 59 Chinese apps. Union Ministry of Road and Transport has said that no Chinese company can participate in the road projects. Also, we have excluded the Chinese companies from 5G trials. Okay, we are looking to put some procurement curve so that if let us say you have options to get something from China, we are looking like, okay, you don't get it from China. Mostly we are trying to look at it from elsewhere. But is it wrong? First thing, no, it is not wrong, because even China has done it at many instances. A lot of countries, they do the same type of tactics. Second thing, how much impact it is going to have China. So this is a data I have taken. This you can use for writing your answers. Nothing for prelims here also. India's import from China is 65 billion out of two-way trade of 82 billion. So see, we have around 80 billion of trade, out of which we import from China 65 billion. Okay, and they send us how much? It's just 15 billion. And so what we are doing is a small fraction of it. Definitely, it's the things like 5G trials or these Chinese app. If you talk about TikTok, so not now, but in the future, their projections may be in $1 billion. Okay, so these are huge and heavy losses. But in a long run, if you see, then we have so much of dependency that without having an alternative mechanism to procure the things or to manufacture the goods without the Chinese import, it is not going to bring much difference to us. Okay. So this was about this India-China. Next article today talks about the contraction of the service sector. So here they have used an index which is PMI, Purchasing Managers Index. Syllabus wise, it is part of the economy, and economy syllabus wise it is part of the General Studies paper 3. So for our knowledge, the Purchasing Managers Index, its value is shown either below 50 or above 50. Please remember that. Below 50 means contraction and above 50 means expansion. Purchasing Managers Index, which is used for looking at the activities in the service sector. Below 50 it is for contraction and above 50 is for expansion. So that was it for today's session, guys. This is a list of do's and don'ts which you can follow in order to maximize your chances of selection in the civil services exam. And please do not forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel, and to press the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever we upload any new video. So thanks a lot for watching, and please stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.